Hey guys, welcome back. Andrew here with Ambient Endeavors, and today we're taking a look at the Rivolta Mondo Combinata Baritone. And I think for me, for a long time, I had this kind of misconception or maybe like hesitancy or fear of diving into baritones. I think I had this impression that they were only used in kind of heavy, sludgy, down-tuned music, stuff that I don't really honestly listen to that much, and therefore I don't really find myself playing that much either. And so for a long time, they weren't on my radar until recently. I started to kind of see them make a resurgence or sort of find their way into some of the genres that I'm listening to or some of the players that I'm watching. And so I'm really excited to check out this guitar. It's been really fun to weave in this baritone in different videos and sketches that you maybe have heard here on YouTube or on Instagram, and appreciate Rivolta for sending this one over. I think that there is some real magic and beauty that can be found in using baritones in post-rock and ambient music. As you heard in the intro sketch, there's just kind of this deep richness and fullness to the baritone that adds a cool element, a cool kind of mood and feel to your writing. And so it's been really fun to have this tool in the studio here to either incorporate in other tracks or kind of just write sketches solely based around that kind of lower tuned deep tone of the baritone. My bent is generally towards those ambient and post-rock sounds, as you've kind of gathered if you follow the channel. If you're into that kind of music, if you're into those types of tones or the effects and gear made to use those sounds, please hit subscribe below and follow along with the channel here. It's a huge support to the channel to hit subscribe there, and drop a comment below or a question if you've got it throughout the video here. So let's dive into this specific baritone. It is the Rivolta Fano-designed Combinata Baritone. It's a really lightweight, a really interesting design, a cool aesthetic. To start off with, it's a chambered all mahogany body with a 27-inch scale length, a mahogany neck, and rosewood fretboard here. And right off the bat, you really get that cool kind of airy yet deep quality of tones from this instrument because of that chambered body and construction. It's a 27-inch neck, so the shift from sort of a Fender scale length style guitar to this instrument isn't too dramatic. It's actually a very playable, very comfortable feeling neck, and a really nicely designed body with some nice kind of contouring and carving on the top here, the single cut to allow you to really access some of the high frets there too. You have a 12-inch radius on the fretboard, so again, a fairly familiar radius there for guitar players. and it's tuned out of the box in B standard, so you get those deep, rich tones from tuning down a few half steps there. The neck is on the chunkier side. They label it as a chunky C+ neck on the Rivolta website. There's 2 humbucker style pickups here, and the beauty of this circuitry too is that you get a push-pull pot on the tone control that allows you to split the coils, so you get some really nice, really pretty clear and present single coil sounds. If you flip that down, you engage the humbucker modes and can get those full, deep, kind of screaming baritone tones out of the humbuckers. Like I mentioned, it's a Dennis Fano-designed, and so the aesthetic is really striking. He's kind of left his mark in design on the guitar world, and these models feature some really nice elegance to the carving, to the aesthetic, and just feel and play really great out of the box. This baritone will also ship with a deluxe padded gig bag. And I have to say, this being the first Rivolta guitar I've owned, I've kind of kept an eye on their stuff for a long time after they kind of made a splash into the low to mid-range guitar market a handful of years back. I've played it for months now before shooting this demo, and I've really been impressed with the quality. I've been impressed and kind of inspired by some of the tones and sounds that you can get with it. It's a really comfortably playing guitar, so I'm excited to kind of highlight it for you here as we go along. We're going to jump over to some sound samples here and get a taste of what this baritone can sound like clean or dirty. We're going to run through the different pickup combinations here too to get a feel for the variety and the range of tones you can get there. And I'd love to just hear any thoughts or feedback or impressions you have of this guitar. Any thoughts you have about the Rivolta line, or just anything that's on your mind, drop a comment or a question below, and I love to dialogue and chat there with you. The signal chain I'm going to be using is this Mondo Combinata Baritone. We're going to run into a Cali 76 compressor onto an EAE Limelight 2, Strymon Volante for our delay. We might mix in some modulation from a Line6 HX ONE and then have some reverb on all the parts from a Neunaber Wet reverb. It's all running into the Supro Keeley Custom 12 behind me here and going on to the aux box for speaker capturing. Check it out.